Hello, welcome back to Van TV Media. Of course, if you're new, please just consider subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so that in case we do upload any story, you'll be the first one to view. Thank you guys. I do appreciate. I do appreciate for you guys for supporting me for where I have reached now. I appreciate so much. Hey, my people, there's a story that I want to share with you. There's a story I want to share with you. This comes to Africans who are living outside the Africa. Those black people who are living outside the continent. Let me say that there's a guy from Ethiopia has said something has said something. He has produced a message. This is a message he has sent to those people who are living outside Africa, and this message is that he is urging them, he is telling them that Africa, it's good, if they will decide to come from where they are to come and build what? To come and build their continent, Africa. So just listen to this message, this message that comes from this guy, and drop your comment and tell us what do you feel about the message. What is your opinion in that message? Just listen to the message and we will be proceeding on.
Black America, Ethiopian here with a message for you. This is going to be about as important of a message as any, and I hope that you lend me an ear. I understand that we have our differences. I understand the grievances that we have as a people from Africa and a people in America. I want to ask you to look past that for 1 second and just hear me out. Right off the bat, I want to acknowledge one thing. For those of you who consider yourself indigenous to America, I want you to know that I respect you. I respect your heritage, your history, and your claim. And I also understand that you will never leave America. You would rather fight and die for this land, and that is commendable, and it is your prerogative. My message to all of you melanated people, my people, is this. Consider a mass exodus to Africa. Hear me out. Before you skip the video, just lend me an ear. Allow me to explain. In this country, for over 600 years, you have been held captive in your own land by a people who refuse to acknowledge your humanity. A people who refuse to accept you as equals. While today they hold $138 trillion in net worth, you have 5.9. I tell you what though, that is still a hell of an accomplishment. With that in mind, I also understand, and you also understand, the only way to get equality and your land back in America is civil war. Because politically, it's never going to happen. Here's my thing. What if I told you the greatest way to defeat colonialism in America is not with your blood, but with your absence? What if I told you that you have an alternative to civil war? What if I told you that alternative is Africa? Hear me out. Your community is worth $5.9 trillion. If you today decided to band together under one accord as a black people in America and decided to conduct a mass exodus to Africa, let me show you what you can build for yourself with just a fraction of your wealth. Here is what 14 billion African dollars can build in Africa. Keep in mind, your net worth is 5.9 trillion USD. This is what 14 billion African dollars can build.
Just over 60 kilometers south of Nairobi on the way to the port city of Mombasa, sits the site of Kenya's newest smart city, Konza Technopolis. The vision of the Kenyan government is to build a broader city from scratch to bring research universities, industry, and government together. The city will be modeled after Silicon Valley in the United States, so it has been nicknamed the African Silicon Savannah. Konza Technopolis, previously called Konza Technology City, has been in development for 15 years, and it is set to position Kenya as a technology leader in Africa and globally. In 2008, plans for Konza City were first revealed as part of Kenya's Vision 2030, a government-led development program with the declared goal of transforming Kenya into a middle-income country, providing a high-quality life to all its citizens by the year 2030. Since its construction in 2019, the project has created more than 400 jobs and trained more than 100 local workers and engineers. Being developed at a cost of $14.5 billion, the city is planned to cover more than 2,000 hectares when fully finished. The project will be Kenya's future hub for business process outsourcing, software development, data centers, disaster recovery centers, call centers, and light assembly manufacturing industries. As a flagship project for Kenya's Vision 2030 for economic development, Konza is planned to be a world-class city, powered by a thriving information, communications, and technology sector and reliable infrastructure. Konza City's master plan follows a stitch framework, consisting of a mixed-use bar that runs east to west off Mombasa Highway and intersects with a series of program bands that run north to south. These bands include areas dedicated to a university, residential spaces, science and technology, and offices. The city will also host commercial buildings, hotels, entertainment centers, a science park, a convention center, shopping malls, schools, and hospitals. An important component of this sprawling technology hub is the inclusion of general and affordable housing for people working and living within the Technopolis, as well as affordable housing for students. But what truly sets Konza Technopolis apart is its commitment to sustainability. The city is not just smart, it's green. From double-glazed windows and solar panels to rainwater collection, clean sanitation, and waste management, every aspect of Konza Technopolis is designed for efficiency and eco-friendliness. The focus on green building practices and sustainable materials ensures a clean environment, efficient use of water, and reduced greenhouse gas emissions. With ample green spaces allocated, Konza Technopolis is expected to be a walkable city, one that includes high-quality public spaces, active and varied amenities, and short commute times between destinations. Moreover, Konza Technopolis is fostering urban farming technologies to bolster food security and contribute to wildlife preservation within its expansive 1,000-acre wildlife corridor. As a smart city, Konza will integrate a network of smart devices and sensors in the urban environment, roads, and buildings. Konza's residents will also have direct access to the collected data, such as traffic maps, emergency warnings, and detailed information describing energy and water consumption. The availability of data will enable Konza's residents to directly participate in the city's operations, lead more sustainable lives, and improve general inclusion. Shifting our focus to the city's construction, it is being built in stages to accommodate the growing population of 200,000 people. The project's first brick was laid in 2013. In 2019, the Konza complex was completed, a mixed-use building with offices, a conference hall, and a hotel. The building has adhered to the Green Building Standards and has integrated state-of-the-art technologies.
Are you following me? With a fraction of your wealth, a $14 billion investment from the Black community in America into Africa can not only purchase you land, but it can purchase you an entire city. An entire city in which you can build your own banks, your own educational institutions, your own police, your own everything. But why stop there? with the collaboration of the 54 countries on the African continent to relocate your community to Africa, to expropriate land to you for your own use and your own benefit, to help build a Black American society in Africa. The continent of Africa will surround you with open arms and create a pathway for you to not just build your own cities, but eventually one day your own state and your own country, free from Europeans, surrounded by people who look like you, who walk like you, who walk in the same skin, though we have different cultures. Think about this. Your salvation can be in Africa. Moses took his people out of Egypt to save them from the Pharaoh. How would this be any different today? Are you not under the thumb of today's Pharaoh? Are you not Hebrew Israelites? A mass exodus at this point is absolutely mandatory and should be on your list of things to do. History repeats itself every time. And sometimes we need somebody on the outside to remind us the options that we have. Your destiny is not to perish in America, fighting for dirt. Your destiny is to one day rule the world with the people who look like you. You have an alternative to war. It is your presence in America that makes this country great. Without your presence, this country is nothing but just another European colony. Take your presence where it is wanted, where it can thrive. You have a continent at your disposal that will expropriate land to you. Contact the consulates. Contact the countries you want to make a deal with. Invest in real estate in these countries. Invest in real estate offices. Build offices in which you can take and export physical labor, non-ether beings from America, take them to Africa where they can work in these real estate offices and build properties, buy land, and eventually migrate slowly but surely and integrate with the continent of Africa to build your own state and eventually your own country. It's a scary thing to think about. I know. You're so used to where you are and you're not willing to part with it. I get it. My people went through that. My parents came here in '99 from Africa when a major civil war broke out in Ethiopia. Grandma was too old to hustle and tussle with the young folk, and she had a baby. Me. She already raised her children, but she couldn't see me suffer through that shit, so she brought me here. I know what it's like to relocate somewhere. I know how scary it can be, how taxing it can be, emotionally, physically, spiritually. But integration ain't shit but a matter of time. It's something you can accomplish in a matter of time. It's nothing. I came here not speaking a lick of English. Look at me now. You can't distinguish me from any other African American. Maybe my forehead. But you know what I'm saying? Integration can be scary, but it can be done. And if you are tired of suffering at the hands of people who see you as animals and will never see you as human beings, please consider what I'm telling you. Contact the African governments. Make a deal for them to expropriate land to you. Build real estate offices, build hospitals, invest in schools, create your communities, integrate and migrate to Africa, and build your Wakanda amongst people who look and live like you. A people who can cherish your existence rather than looking at you like you are a stain. Yes, I know we have some Africans online talking a bunch of shit, but we would deal with those people on our own accord. Don't worry about that. There are haters everywhere. There are haters amongst you in your own communities who hate black people. Hate is everywhere. No matter what culture you go to, even within your own culture, there are people who hate themselves. So don't let that be the reason why you're afraid. You can overcome that. That's nothing. There are 3.4 billion people in Africa today. A small fraction of those people are the people we're talking about. They don't matter. The future you can build for yourself in Africa is 100 times more beneficial than a future you will have in America. Think about this. You can slowly build yourself up into a state, into a nation, into a country, free from the interference of Europeans, surrounded by the love of your non-ether beings. The greatest way to defeat colonialism in America is to cease being its slave and grant them the gift of your absence, not the benefit of your blood. Please think about this offer. Africa is calling you. We're waiting for you. You have an alternative. You don't have to die in America. Come live in Africa.
Right, hope you've understood the message. This is that those people who are living abroad, those people who are living in England, living in US, living Germany, everywhere, the black people, the African people who went to stay abroad, is this your message? If we are begging, if you decided to come to Africa, you decided to mass vacate where you are to come to Africa and you decide to build your Africa, it will be better. It will be better, and Africa will grow the way we think for, the way we are thinking for. You decide now. You say that I'm going to Africa. The money that I have, everything that I have, I'm going to invest in Africa. Sure, African will grow. This is a matter of we coming together as black people. This is a matter of we Africans coming together and join together and make sure that we decide we'll be in the same development idea. We'll be in the same decision making and decided to come to Africa and make sure that we sit down and talk on how we can create our nation. For sure, Africa will be great. I concur with this guy. Africa will be great nation. Because you see, most of the thing, whenever someone needs to go to the best school when someone needs to take his or her child to school, the best school, he or she thinks of take him to the school that is in England, Oxford University, take him the school that is in UK, take him the school that so we African, whenever we decide and make sure that we are coming, we are now deciding to sit down and make sure that here in Africa we make sure that we've constructed a big school that we mind of. We construct a big hospital that we usually think of. We make sure that we create a big market that can help in marketing our products, selling our goods here in Africa. Africa will be great. Africa will be like Dubai. Africa will be great the way you think other continent as. This is just an idea of this guy, and this is the best idea I have ever had for. And Africa, we are supposed to think like this one. African who are in America, please, we hope there is a day you will think of coming to Africa and deciding to invest in Africa. Hope there is a day you will decide to make sure that Africa has grown to an extent that one may not believe on. It is just about the just about coming together and unite. You see, there is a guy called Ibrahim Traore. How Ibrahim Traore usually thinks of uniting Africa. How Ibrahim Traore usually thinks of making the resources that are in Africa to benefit people who are living in Africa. This is the idea we people we are supposed to have. This is the idea we people we are supposed to follow, and for sure Africa will be great. We will make sure that Africa has changed from where it is. We will make sure that we Africa, we are no longer depending in those countries that are in West countries. We'll make sure that Africa is now having any institutions that we usually think of. So this is the call of, this is African people call of, this is African people message that may make Africa be great. This message may make African people to change the way we are. It will make African change their lifestyle, and this may make the European people feel like they have been abandoned, and this may make the European people to change on how they have displayed, on how they have put their mind unto us. So Africa is supposed to change in idea, and we Africa, we are supposed to change, and we are supposed to think of coming to invest in Africa, and we are supposed to make sure that we have made Africa to be great. So guys, hope the message has gone into your mind, and I hope you will digest in the message, and one day, one time, African people will rise up. One day, one time, African people will decide to back home. African people will make sure that they are back home, so that Africa to become greater than where it is now. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate so much for you supporting this channel, and guys, let us meet in the next episode.